So you've obviously had this principle of the earth being but one country, which is a very Baha'i concept. So I suppose when you came across the Baha'i faith, it was just immediately attractive to you.
The earth is but one country, yes, this is my conclusion, and this is the Baha'i idea. I think if you sum up all the books of the Baha'i faith, it will come into that sentence, the earth is but one country.
So how did you come to the Baha'i faith? Where in the world were you at that time?
You know, I did not go around the world. I left France, I was 17, and I did not go around the world to study religions. But if you are curious and if you really want to know about a country, you have to study everything about that country, from geography, the food, politics, history, architecture, literature. You should know the language, but you cannot learn 6,000 languages. So also to really understand the country, you have to study the religion of the country. I thought if there was only one religion, that would stop a lot of problems we have. Like we know that in the past, religions have brought a lot of wars. Although in one of my books I said that they were not wars of religions, they were wars of lack of religion. Because the message is love one another, even love your enemy. Now if you apply this, you cannot fight a war. But if you forget it, then you have a war. And then today also the problem is that religions are maintaining division. To come to peace, the key is to unite, and they are doing the opposite. So the first big thing, if we want peace, there are lots of problems to solve, but the most important to me is to bring about this unity of religion. As long as they are fighting each other, we cannot talk about peace. I met for the first time in this traveling a Baha'i, an American Baha'i. He gave me a book called Baha'u'llah-New Era. It's a very complete book about this Baha'i faith. And the answer found in there is very simple. Baha'u'llah says, yes, there is only one God, but there are not many religions, it's only one. It's the same teaching, and he compares with children going to school. When you go to school, you don't go to university first, you go to kindergarten, then first grade, second grade, etc., etc. But you're receiving only one teaching, but this teaching is given to you gradually. As you are growing up, you can understand more with the passing of time, so every year you got a new teacher with a new book. Based on what was said before, then he gives a bit more. This is wisdom. One teaching, but many teachers. And with this teaching given to mankind by those great world teachers, and we know them all because they are at the start of civilizations, people like Christ and Buddha, Moses and Zoroaster and Muhammad and others. It is the same thing. There is only one teaching, one spiritual teaching. But as mankind also is growing, this teaching is like at school, is given gradually according to the needs of the time and then the understanding of the time. So only one religion, repetitive. Also education means you have to repeat many times. Look at today, we have forgotten all the good notions of the past. So it has to be repeated. And I think that's the purpose of this person, Baha'u'llah. Because if you read his books, you'll see he's not saying anything new about spiritual values. We have heard them before. The part of Baha'u'llah is reminding us of those beautiful values, but he's explaining how to put them into everyday life. That's the way to go to peace. With those, if we manage to apply those beautiful principles, then peace will come. And Baha'u'llah is explaining very clearly how to do it in everyday life. That is very important. When I met the Baha'i writings after 14 years on the road, I said, okay, now I understand that was why. I had all my answers. Now this answer is very simple. One religion, but repetitive. I must say that in all my traveling, and now 45 years, I have not found a higher ideal or better answers for the needs of today than those Baha'i writings. If I find better, I come back to Auckland to tell you.
Okay, that's a promise.